get my shoes and out the door. 5, I'm alive. 6, 7, 8, feeling great.
Hello, loyal BYWG podcast tribe. For the last 2 years, Dr. Mike, Dr. Wanda Lee, and myself carefully every month curated and selected a product of the month and the book of the month that we felt would have tremendous benefit to your physical, chemical, and emotional wellness, and we will continue to do this. However, as we enter into the new year, the year 2019, we have one of the most exciting announcements to share with you all since the inception of our lifestyle-driven company. For January 2019, we are keeping the product of the month in-house. Behind the scenes, we have been diligently working on the BYWG nutritional supplement line, and we are proud to announce that they are now available. All of our BYWG nutrition supplements and formulas are custom designed by your doctors and created specifically so that we know exactly what's in your supplements. No unnecessary fillers, no cheap substitutions, no gluten, no dairy, no wheat, no soy, no corn. Only what you expect with high quality and value. All of our formulations are hand blended in small batches, less than 100 bottles, so we can control the quality and quantity of each capsule most effectively. So the question I ask you is, do you know what's in your current supplements? We know what's in ours, and now you do too. If you go to our website, www.beyondyourwildestgenes.com, click the tab that says Nutritional Supplements. On this page, you'll find the full information sheets for each of the products, a library of published scientific references on these amazing ingredients, and most importantly, a customized supplement questionnaire to help us guide you in your choices. Once you complete this, you can decide to purchase, and you will receive a 10% discount code for your first purchase. So let me give you a little glimpse into our first 8 unique supplements. Number 1, Stress Rebalancer. This is a unique blend of the adaptogen ashwagandha, amino acid 5-hydroxytryptophan, antioxidant glutathione with several other additions as a one-stop shop for managing the physical impacts of stress. Number 2, Bone Health Plus. This supplement is so much more than just calcium. Number 3, Digestive Boost. If you have a difficult time digesting gluten and dairy, this formulation includes the DPP4 enzyme specifically designed to combat the occasional or not so occasional gluten and dairy exposure. Number 4, Joint Formula Plus. This is a powerful blend of building blocks associated with joint and cartilage repair. Number 5, Probiotic Power. 25 billion CFUs per serving, including 9 lactobacillus and bifidobacter strains, including the probiotic powerhouse L-reuteri. Number 6, A Burst of Sunshine. This is our version of the ever-important vitamin D3. Number 7, Turmeric Boost is the BCM 95 version, which has been proven to be 7 to 9 times more bioavailable than the standard 95% curcumin extract. And finally, number 8, Magnesium Glycinate. Magnesium is one of the most common nutrient deficiencies, so this unique form of magnesium is bound to glycine to make it body-friendly, highly absorbable, with no concern for bowel upset. We highly suggest you go take our quiz at the website. We know you will be impressed. Getting the most out of your healthcare dollars are extremely important to us. Our supplements represent the best of the supplement world. Enjoy the upcoming podcast. Hello and welcome back to Beyond Your Wildest Genes podcast. My name is Dr. Noah DeCoyer and I'm your co-host. I listen to a lot of material online, podcasts, summits, interviews, etc. On one of the recent summits I listened to, our guest presented, and I really enjoyed it. So I reached out to him, and here we go. BYWG audience, I introduce to you Dr. Michael Headlee. How are you, Dr. Michael? How are you?
Yeah, very good. Thanks for having me.
That's fine. Doc, is it okay if I just do your bio and then we'll get started?
Absolutely.
All right, so Dr. Mike Headlee is a holistic sleep doc who helps people solve their sleep problems without dangerous drugs with a process he developed called the DNA difference. Dr. Headlee has been a doctor of chiropractic for over 25 years, helping thousands of people regain their health naturally so they can get well and stay well to live their best lives possible. Some of his degrees include a Diplomat in philosophy from Palmer College, internal health specialty degree from the Loomis Institute, functional medicine degree from the Kalish Institute as well. He is a certified brain coach through the Aeperion Clinics and is an epigenetic coach through the Aeperion Academy. Dr. Headlee struggled with sleep as a child growing up and into his 20s, which has affected many aspects of his health. He has great empathy for those struggling with sleep issues. He has dedicated his time to solving people's sleep issues so they can improve all aspects of their health. He has written many eBooks on sleep and teaches classes on this subject, including why sleep is more important than diet and exercise. He is married to Angie, and they have 3 children, Paige, Daniel, and Zoe. His hobbies include biking, reading, hiking, traveling, sporting events, and watching his kids participate in their activities. Man, that sounds like me as well. Doc, first question is always your journey. Flesh out your bio a little bit. Give our audience a little bit more about who you are.
All right. Well, I haven't missed a day of work in my 25-plus year career. I haven't taken a medication or a shot or a pill. My wife had our children unassisted, was home from the birthing center the same day she delivered, and they haven't had any shots or medications. They miss, on average, 1 day of school a year. So I'm not bragging. I'm just saying. And that's what it's been for 25-plus years. Well, here's how I started, though. I started out as a sickly kid. Coming out, there was stress for my mother's pregnancy, and as a result, I had many strep infections, ear infections, tonsillitis, had my tonsils out, had many immune issues, had acne and gut issues, psoriasis, athlete's foot, etc. I fell as an early age, 16 feet, broke a vertebrae in my lower back. I had carbon monoxide poisoning, passed out. My dad saved me, kind of a bad story there. Had lead and mercury poisoning, Lyme's disease, car accident, fractured C7, and then also dislocated my right hip and degenerated that. Had multiple concussions in high school and college, football. And so one of my mottos is down 7, up 8, meaning get up one more time, then you get knocked down. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. And the first day of chiropractic college, they said, of course, DC stands for Doctor of Chiropractic, but they also said it stands for Doctor of Cause. So I've been on a cause and a mission to find the cause of my ill health. Why am I not well and other people are? And why, geez, I might look somewhat healthy, but how come I feel like garbage? And so that's been my mission ever since chiropractic college, is find the cause of why someone isn't functioning optimally. And I feel like I've solved a lot of my health issues, therefore the 25-plus years without medications and missing work, and learned how to raise a healthy family. So it's just exciting, like you, listening to a lot of podcasts and summits and all this information aids. It's really exciting to keep studying and learning and applying it to my life, but also the people I work with.
Man, we have so many similarities, Dr. Mike. My life started out with chronic strep and chronic ear infections as well until I got my first adjustment. So I know exactly what you're talking about. Now, I didn't have quite as many injuries as you did. It seems like you played a little bit harder than I played, but I know what you mean. You're a chiropractor and a functional medicine doc, much like the co-hosts of this show, and we are all in agreement that sleep is crucial. You've decided to focus a great deal of time and energy on this one aspect of health. So my simple question is, why?
Well, the shortest answer is from pain to purpose. When I was growing up, I had to share a room with my brother, 1 year older, until I was 18 and went to college. And so he had a black and white TV with rabbit ears, and so it wasn't facing me, and he would look at it, and I said, turn that up. We'd fight and argue, and he'd finally turn it off, and I'd be stressed out, and then he'd roll over and start snoring. And it's like, wow, what? Like, and then my adrenals were gone. My blood pressure's up. Okay, I go sleep on the couch. Well, I'm 6'6", and I've always been tall. I don't fit on the couch that well. I could still hear him snoring. My dad snored upstairs. So I'd go back in the room. I was exhausted, still couldn't sleep. I'd throw shoes at him. He'd wake up and roll over, start snoring again. Okay, I'll throw it at his TV. He'd get pissed and throw him back at me. And it just kind of went back and forth. And then through high school, I didn't sleep any better. I worked 80 to 100 hours, a couple different jobs, trying to make ends meet for making money for college. Get to college, had multiple roommates. Of course, they snored, just became a sensitive sleeper. And I was always tired. Like I had sand and gravel in my eyes. And that just kind of contributed to my other health issues and immune issues and acne and gut issues and all that other stuff. And so today I can relate to all the millions and millions and millions of people that have sleep issues because I went through it. But I know it's not how you start, it's how you finish. You can improve your sleep. And sleep is an effect, I believe, of optimum health and function. So if you get your health and body functioning optimally, sleep is inborn and natural, just like healing is. And so it's my mission to help people sleep so they can restore their health in their life.
So when did you, in this journey, when did you realize that sleep for you was like the linchpin to everything else? Like how long did it take you to figure that all out?
Well, right in chiropractic college, first of all, I didn't have any solutions or answers. You just kind of gut it out, and in your early 20s, you can kind of get away with it by having energy drinks or coffee, or you just kind of live with it. But then I go, wow, chiropractic college, I'm not sleeping well with a bunch of roommates, and I can't study as good, and still getting tonsillitis and infections all through chiropractic college, even though I'm getting adjusted. Starting to change my diet and doing all the nutrition stuff. I still didn't figure it out until, right after chiropractic college. I kind of got on my own and started to mellow out and do the meditation and really dove into exercise and more lifestyle stuff because I've always gotten adjusted since high school and a little bit before that. But after chiropractic college, it really hit home that I needed to change things besides just getting adjusted to improve my sleep because it was 25 plus years without it. And so I dove deep into my lifestyle at that time.
When we talk about health, and we seem to be on the same page, it's sexy to talk about what you're eating or how you're exercising or meditation or positive mental attitude. But I just now I think sleep is kind of creeping up to the forefront. Why did it take so long? Why did it take so long for people to really realize that sleep is, and you're known for saying that sleep is more important than diet or exercise. Why did it take so long? Why is it starting to change now?
Well, I'll answer that first question. Why just now? Well, I think just the cell phone era, technology era, binge watching TV shows and Netflix all through the night. And it's just entertainment era that we feel like we have to be entertained up until midnight, turn off, and then we just go to bed because we're exhausted. And so that plays a lot into it is technology, whether it's video games or cell phones, or you got to check out Instagram before you go to bed, of course, and scroll through that for an hour later. You didn't learn anything new, but you're more exhausted. And what I think, James Chestnut has coined, humans are the sickest species on the planet. But I say this. Humans are the only species that deny themselves sleep. There's not one other species like, the giraffes in Africa, they're insomniacs, and the rhinos and the fish and the deer and whatever else, the only way an animal's not getting sleep is it's getting chased by another animal. And so we just deny ourselves sleep, even though it's inborn inherent. And 100 years ago, they didn't stay up because there's no technology to keep them up. And, there was very poor lighting back then. And so they'd say, wow, there's no great TV and podcasts and summits to listen to all through the night. And, let's just go to bed because we got to get up and work hard the next day. And so I think it's more important than diet and exercise because when you have poor sleep, you have increased all-cause mortality. That's the quick answer. And your metabolism crashes, your inflammation markers go up, your increased dementia and Alzheimer risks go up, cancer risks go up. You get decreased growth hormone and testosterone. The youth growth hormone is dubbed the youth hormone. You have all mental disorders have one thing in common: poor sleep. So anxiety, depression, PTSD, bipolar, all of those things have sleep as a commonality of disrupted sleep. So the worst system that gets hit is your heart and cardiovascular system. So then you got blood pressure and metabolism issues, and it's more important than diet and exercise, because you go a week without eating. That's super popular. But besides sleep, I see everything about fasting. So don't eat for a week and just drink water. Well, it's called a water fast, or do intermittent fasting. Well, that's actually healthy for you, and autophagy and increasing your mitochondria. Well, if you want to trash your mitochondria, go a few days without sleep, and then go a week without exercise. Well, it's called a vacation. It's kind of fun to lay on the beach and do nothing for a week and just relax and swim and lounge and gain 10 pounds at the buffet. Well, 4 hours of sleep, you have blood sugar like a pre-diabetic person. You get abnormal hormones. Ghrelin and leptin are just tanked, and blood sugar is unstable. You get stress on the adrenals. Your cortisol rhythm gets off. You're tired but wired, and you develop some chronic fatigue, some liver toxicity, and bowel issues if you don't correct it long term. So there's many reasons that sleep is more important than diet and exercise, because with all of the high-intensity interval training, you can actually exercise on a small amount. You can actually eat a small amount, calorie restriction and fasting, and benefit the body. You can't squeeze 4 hours in every night for the next 30 days and optimize your health. So it's pretty obvious for people in the literature to really agree on that sleep is really, really significant to our health, but it's even more important than diet and exercise. Even those are really, really critical as well.
It just seems like if you have your sleep down rock solid, you can get away with some other transgressions in those other areas, at least temporarily anyway, if you really have your sleep locked down.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. Now, this is an area you've really focused a lot on, and you developed, I guess, your own program or your own moniker. It's called the DNA difference. Can you explain that to our audience?
Yeah, I think whenever you talk about sleep, there's some universal truths. Some sleep hygiene for exercise. Get 10,000 steps, whether it's running or walking or moving or yoga or, you're going to CrossFit. We need to exercise. We need to move. Just kind of make it specific for your body type and style. And so that fits with the DNA difference. You get some metrics first. You do a consultation with someone. You get a sleep journal. You get some labs. You get a DNA swab for their cheek, or use some data from 23andMe. Most people don't realize there's 16 megabytes of data that you get from 23andMe if you request it. And so I combine that, and I put it into templates to determine, for instance, someone's circadian propensity, if they're a morning person or a night owl. And so there's low-weighted genes like the PER3 or the PER2 gene is a highly weighted gene to see if someone truly is a morning person, because we can adapt to a lot of different things. We can adapt tomorrow morning with no sleep tonight, but it's not going to be optimum. But I want to find out truly if someone's a morning person or a night person. And if they're a morning person, but they've trained themselves to be a night owl because they feel like they get their second wind at 11 or 12 at night, and they like to binge watch Netflix, I'm going to convince them that it's genetically optimum to be a morning person. Then their sleep onset. Do they have a delayed sleep onset? 5 to 20 minutes is a normal onset to go to sleep. But some people have a propensity to take a longer time to fall asleep. Well, then I'm going to tell them to meditate and pray and listen to the brain tap or binaural beats and do some other things so they aren't getting frustrated and throwing shoes at the person next to them because they're sleeping really well and feeling jealous. The bed partner is sleeping and they aren't. So sleep onset's really important. You can find that out genetically. Sleep duration, can they benefit from a normal sleep cycle? They always say 7 to 9 hours for most adults. That's optimum. Well, I want to find out, can they function pretty darn well with 7 hours, or should we dial in it at 9 hours based on their genetics? Sleep quality, do they have tendency to be disrupted sleep or not? Then we have to really dial into the hygiene and get the quiet in the environment down, ideally because they have disrupted sleep. And then also narcolepsy and restless leg and some other negative things that show up in genetics that we can dial in And that's just a sleep template. And then I dial into, I'm a big fan of the blood type diet and how to incorporate that with the rest of their DNA. It's only one gene that determines your blood type. However, if you are a high metabolizer and you can handle high fats and your genetics says you're okay for the keto diet, well, then I still type in their blood type because I want to make sure they're eating the right proteins and the right fats and the right carbs for their blood type. And then I do some other measurements for genotypes to determine how much stress they had in the womb and their mother, if their torso is longer than their legs, is the thigh longer than their shin, is their jaw angle, their head angle. So there's a lot of research done on genotypes to really make more specific lifestyle recommendations instead of just giving generic reports to people. Say, here, you take 2 milligrams of melatonin and use a brain tap and do some yoga and go for a run 3 times a week. I want to dial it in really specific to optimize their full expression of their genetics, because then sleep is just a natural occurrence because they're so healthy and well, just like our sex drive, just like our hunger drive, just like our wake drive. Well, we have a sleep drive as long as everything is functioning optimally. So it's pretty fun to dive into people's DNA and see just how they're hardwired.
That's one of the guests we've had on the show before that talk about sleep was Dr. Michael Bruce, and I'm sure you're familiar with his work.
For sure.
And what struck me, what you just said is, he talks about, different types of, he has different names like dolphin and bear.
Yeah, different chronotypes.
Chronotypes. And it seems like what you're doing, you're basically using DNA to really truthfully 100% verify what kind of chronotype you are.
Yeah, and he's a genius, and he's written more books than me, and I really respect his work. And there's just different types, we can both give really great recommendations without DNA. However, to really look at the fabric of what you're made out of and how to express and optimize your genetics or downregulate the bad genes. And, for instance, are you a high caffeine metabolizer? Well, if you are, maybe you can get away with a cup of coffee at 2 or 3 in the afternoon, and if you're a slow caffeine metabolizer, geez, don't drink coffee after 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock or, because you'll be up half the night. And like I said earlier, you can adapt to almost anything today. But is it going to optimize your genetics, and then it's going to bite you in the rear end when you're 50, 60, 70 years old because you've adapted yourself to a night owl and your genetics say you're a morning preference, and delayed onset, etc. So we can fool ourselves just because we like certain things, but it doesn't mean we're hardwired that way. And that's why I like looking at the DNA and using the blood type and then also the genotype measurements to really dial it in specifically.
You talk openly and freely about chiropractic. That's you're a chiropractor like me. Where does any kind of since you work with some people's sleep, where does chiropractic fit into this picture?
Well, I still have a brick and mortar chiropractic office, so It's pretty easy for me to talk to people about the number one most important thing is let's remove stress from your nervous system and optimize your nervous system function. And when I do consults online, I really talk to them about the function of the nervous system. It's a master control system, and without that system functioning optimally, we can give you the best specific genetic nutrition plan and exercise plan and all the biohacks and things to optimize your sleep. But I said your nervous system isn't going to be able to really, function and signal to digest those nutrition products in the proper diet, whether it's Mediterranean or keto. And so I have a pretty good explanation on why it's important to see a chiropractor, and majority of them say, well, I saw one and I try to find one in their area that is number one specific and has an analysis. That's my huge criteria. People are just doing the flying 7 and just randomly saying, well, okay, I have my wife walk on my back or my brother, lifts me up and pops my back. I said, that's not chiropractic. Mm-hmm. And so, it's the number one thing is to focus on the nervous system because it's the master control system. once they see a chiropractor, I still give some hacks on, spinal hygiene, and we'll talk about that maybe next. But yeah, I convince all clients to see a chiropractor. And just like sleep, chiropractic, is involved in all NFL teams, and the Googles and the Boeings, have chiropractors on staff, and it's pretty popular. And 25 years ago when I was in chiropractic college, 30 years ago, they would say, oh yeah, well, you go to one of those chiropractors. Now they're saying, who's your chiropractor? And if people don't have one, they kind of look down ashamed. They're like, oh, I don't have a chiropractor, and you better have a chiropractor if you want to function optimally. And it's number one in my book.
Yeah, I'm glad. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I appreciated your talk so much, because you talk functional medicine with the best of them. You have more a variety of different trainings than most, but you still bring it back to the basics, and I appreciate that, because sometimes that gets lost, and that, as far as I'm concerned, can't get lost in the fray of everything when you're healing and trying to heal or trying to be the healthiest you possibly can be.
From a marketing point, a lot of people say, oh, when I went to graduate school and, now I'm a functional doctor and I'm not against functional nutrition and functional, medicine and all that kind of stuff. But I'm who I am. I'm a chiropractor first. I looked at the cause of my inability to heal, and I went to a chiropractor, and he inspired me to become a chiropractor. And so, that's the foundation, and that does get lost in the shuffle, because we all want to take the latest, greatest, intermittent fasting summit and apply this supplement here and do this exercise there and think all will be well. Well, add that to really a healthy functioning nervous system, and you're well on your way to good health.
Yeah. And speaking of that, and let's be honest, it's fun talking about some of your favorite biohacks or different biohacks you use for sleeping. And I'm a huge fan of blue light blocking lenses. I own a Juve, and I do take melatonin because I just seem to sleep better with melatonin. What are some of your just favorite? And when I brain tap too, I have used a brain tap for a year, and brain tap is basically a meditation, brain balancing device that has lots of technologies built into a headset. What are some of your favorite biohacks that you like to share with your patients and your clients and your clientele?
Well, awesome. I'm going to speed through a bunch of these, and if you have any questions, you can just Google them and look them up. And Dr. Bruce recently posted that he's doing some work with his clients with brain tap. So
cool.
I was kind of excited to hear that too. So he endorses that right now. And physically, I like to break things down physically, chemically, emotionally, light, electromagnetic. So physically, I like people to do Tai Chi, yoga. I do something called Ancient Secret of the Fountain of Youth. I do Straighten Up America. I lay on one of those bed of nails to relax at night. I use miracle ball methods to lay on balls on my spine at the end of the day, using a lacrosse ball as I speak under my desk. Chemical nitric oxide dump is fabulous to do. Fasting, I'm a big fan of all types of fasting. And then in the evening, I mean, it's not a hack, but make sure you get the good fats. Even if you aren't on keto diet, make sure you're getting the good fats at night to keep your blood sugar more stable, so you don't get woke up in the middle of the night. The magnesium, chamomile teas, and all that. I'm a big fan of CBD an hour before bed. 30 to 40 milligrams is kind of a safe dose to start with. All the essential oils, of course, the chamomile, Roman chamomile, lavender, vetiver, lang-lang, lemon balm, and hops are great supplements to take. If you got some stomach issues, take some activated charcoal at night. Emotionally, I'm a big fan of tapping for emotional freedom technique. Big fan of journaling. People that journal, they just get the stress out of their brain. Meditate. I like the 6-phase meditation by Vishen Lakhiani. Praying, I do that morning and night. I'm a brain coach with Dr. Amen, and he's taught us a technique. You can Google it and learn it online. Kill the ants. Automatic negative thoughts is what ants stand for. It's a really neat technique. It's pretty simple. You can teach yourself how to do that. Byron Katie's work, he's allowed us and trained us in that on The Way. Just type in The Way by Byron Katie, and she'll teach you how to do that online for free. Cognitive behavioral therapy. I use the most inexpensive course out there is Udemy.com, and I teach a couple classes on there. But you can take a cognitive behavioral class and get all the resources for like $10. The blue blockers, like you said, for the lights. I'm a big fan of eye guards at night because you want total darkness, and if you use an eye guard, whether it's silk or it's the other type cotton, then you can sleep on the planes and trains and in someone's house. In case the light isn't ideal, at least you can block out all the light with your eye guard. Electromagnetic, one of my favorite things besides just turning off Wi-Fi, I love grounding sheets, and I never sleep as good on the road, and I think that's one of the biggest issues is I've used grounding sheets on my bed for years and years and years. A couple other ones that are a little bit more sophisticated, just the breathing, the box breathing, 4-7-8 breathing. We've elevated our bed about a year ago, 6 inches, elevated the headboard, so it creates a 5-degree grade of a slant. That is a game changer. Let me tell you, for back pain, for circulation and breathing, elevating the bed is really, really a game changer, and it's simple. And then I like to have people put 10 things in their house that they can, whether it's a frame or something on the refrigerator that makes them smile and just remember a really good event. Why? Because every time you're walking around the house, you see all these things that make you happy and smile and relax. That's a simple thing. I use the Brain Tap as well as you do. I use the Muse headband, M-U-S-E. It's choosemuse.com. It gets you into alpha wave. I only use it 3 minutes at night. You can meditate with it as long as you want. I love heart math breathing. It really helps your breathing and your heart rate variability. The Alpha Mitt is a headband that taps into an app on the phone, ELFEMMIT. And that is kind of like walking around with grounding sheets. It mimics the Earth's frequency, so you can wear that for deepened sleep. There's an app for that. Gosh, I like AlphaMed. It's very inexpensive, really, really good thing. You can multitask with that on and be on the treadmill and work out and read at night. My 2 favorite things I got for Christmas. I got a didgeridoo, and let me tell you what a didgeridoo is fabulous. You can buy didgeridoo music because some people relax at night and sleep with that. But when you use a didgeridoo, just like a lot of instruments, it strengthens your throat, your laryngeal muscle, and so it's going to clap less even if you do sleep on your back. And so I love strengthening your throat in case people do get caught on their back. And so didgeridoo, you can look it up, and it really helps people sleep and relax. Drumming is really good to get the heart rate down if you want to unplug at night an hour before bed and you want to read or meditate. And my second favorite thing is Aspire, S-P-I-R-E. It's a mindfulness and activity tracker, so it attaches to your waistline on your pants, and it checks how many steps you have, but it monitors your breath, and it will tell you if you have calm breathing, if you have stressed breathing, and it has and it will buzz you and beep you, like if you're in with a client that's kind of stressing you out, or you're on the phone and you aren't breathing deeply, it will buzz you and it will remind you to breathe. And then at the end of the day, it will tell you how many minutes you were breathing calmly, how many tension minutes did you have focused breath, and then your activity level. So breathing, obviously, I said sleep is more important than diet and exercise. Well, breathing is more important than everything. Try going a couple minutes without it. And so breathing, the Spire, there's Apple Watches and other devices that will tap on you, so take a deep breath. But this will actually monitor it and get some metrics, just like my Aura Ring that I have. Ben Greenfield, he said that's the only device he wears 24/7 because it can go in the shower and hot tub and checks your heart rate variability. And you have to have heart rate under 60 to fall asleep. And so that's why I love the Aura ring as well. But the Spire device on my hip is just fabulous because now I'm breathing better and I have more energy throughout the day because I'm just conscious of my breath. And a lot of people are chest breathers and shallow breathers, and they just don't breathe deeply. And then the last couple, for emotional, a couple books I like the book Radical Forgiveness. You know, Feelings Buried Alive Never Die is one of my other favorites. And then we don't have time for all this, but just, you know, journaling on deserving, journaling on fears. You know, that keeps people awake at night for a lot of reasons. Fears and deserving. And it's like, everyone deserves good health. Everyone deserves to sleep well. And then the last one that's free is connecting with your family at night. And whether, you know, giving each other a back rub or, you know, working on each other's feet. You know, there's a study in Italy that said couples with TVs in the room have 50% less sex. And most couples would realize when you have a good, intimate, you know, physical relationship, you're both going to sleep better because of the oxytocin and the other chemicals. And it just makes life great. And so it's a sleep hack, you know, to get the TV out of the room and get intimate with your significant other, you know. And so those are a lot, and most of them are free and simple and easy. But the technological ones, I like the Spire, I like the Digidoo, the Brain Tap, the Muse, AlphaMed, Heart Math. I love that sensor hooking up to your phone. Most of them are pretty inexpensive, actually. And then the sauna, I have infrared sauna, and we'll talk about my routine next. But yeah, those are quite a few. Elevating the bed is inexpensive and easy, but that's a game changer for breathing and sleep.
Oh, I love that list, and like you mentioned right before it, if you know, go back, listen to that list again. If there's something you'd like research more, just Google it. It's all there. But that was thank you. That was a fun list. I enjoyed listening to that list. That's great.
Cool.
Great. So two final questions, Doc. And I asked this question to every interview I've done over the last year and a half. What's your rhythm from waking to sleeping every day?
Yeah, so I'm at the 5:30 a.m. club right now. I switched to 5 a.m. in the summer because in Minnesota we get sunlight at 5 a.m., but it's easier to sleep in this time of year. So 5:30, wake up, use the bathroom if I need to, go drink some apple cider vinegar with my water, and then I go right downstairs and sit in the sauna, infrared sauna, crank it to 150 for 20 minutes, and then I have headphones on to listen to my 6-phase meditation, which is exactly 20 minutes. And then I come over to my desk and kind of towel off, and I do my morning pages. And that's one of my favorite things to do in the morning, and it comes from a book, The Artist's Way. And then I do my planning. I read the Bible. I do my 5-minute journal, and it's on gratitude. That's my latest journal, 5-minute journal. I do the Fountain of Youth, Ancient Secret of the Fountain of Youth exercises. There's 5 exercises. And then my nitric oxide dump for 3 minutes. And that's one of the simplest things you can do is exercise in the morning, because they did some research on people that exercised at 7 a.m., 1 p.m., and 7 p.m. People exercise in the morning at 7 a.m. had higher growth hormone, better sleep cycles, slept longer, 25% drop in blood pressure at night. And so you only have to do 5-minute exercise. You don't have to just do your full-fledged workout in the gym if you don't want to. But I like the 7-minute scientific workout if you want to do a high-intensity workout there, or I just do the Fountain of Youth and the nitric oxide. Then I'll just go up, shower. I'm on tea right now instead of bulletproof coffee or anything right now, so just big into tea right now. And then I head to the office, and I do about 10 minutes of Tai Chi, and then do my breathing app with Heart Math, and then I'm ready to see people at 8 o'clock. So that's my morning routine. And at noon, 3 times a week, I'll do a brain tap at noon. And around 9 o'clock at night, I'll get off the computer in case I have to work late, or I'm doing a program or interviewing someone for a summit. I might just check an email at 9:30, 10 o'clock, but I'm not going to be on the computer a long time. Use my blue blockers at 9 o'clock. I'll take my CBD oil, 40 milligrams, take my magnesium and hops right now, do my Fountain of Youth, another round of that, and some light stretching. I do my Egoscue Pete Goski was a physical therapist, and he wrote a book called Pain Free. I like his stretching and exercise routine. I'll do that for just a couple minutes at night or lay on my bed of nails. And then also use my Muse headband for 3 minutes, do some reading. And then I usually use an iPod in bed to have meditation or listen to programs, different music at night. So that's my evening routine.
Yeah. I mean, I find routines and rhythms incredibly important and freeing. Like somebody might listen to your routine and say, man, that's a lot. That seems to be, just bog down your day. But those are the kind of things that create the freedom and the health and the vibrancy every day. So I highly recommend rhythms for just about everybody I talk to.
Well, that's, that it took you and me. It takes us a while to get into that. I mean, I didn't do that in college, or I didn't do that. My kids I don't have kids that wake me up in the middle of the night anymore. It's just what it is. And you embrace every aspect of your life. But, right now, it's just worked out, and I do that in a fast, easy flow. So it's not. It seems stressful. There's 20 things to do, but not. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm done with the sauna. Come over to my desk, start writing, do some reading. I mean, it's laid back. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it. But there's 3 things high achievers never. The CEO of Mind Valley Vision, Likiani, I mean, he says every high achiever he's ever studied on any of his programs says they always take care of their physical body. And so you check out the spine and nervous system, and then you work out and stretch and work on the physical body. Guess what? Mental. So meditation, prayer, mindfulness. And then number 3 is sleep. You can't be a high achiever, for a long, long time if you don't sleep. So those 3 things are critical. And so routines we can train our muscles. Well, we can train our brain. So when I put on my blue blockers, my brain goes, okay, I guess I'm going to be sleeping in not too long. And throw in a shower there once in a while, depending on my day. And, I'm meditating for 3 minutes and getting my brain waves into alpha state, so then I can dial down and, put on some lavender on my feet sometimes, or diffuse it in a room, and okay, going to bed.
I couldn't agree more. I totally on board with you. So final question, how can people get in touch? Easiest way for people to get in touch with you?
My website is drheadlee.com, HEADLE.com, Dr. Mike Headlee on Facebook, and also Mike Headlee on Twitter. I have a YouTube page. And then Udemy, which I mentioned earlier, udemy.com, you can listen to a couple of courses I created. And then learnitlive.com, I created a few classes that you can listen to the replays for free probably. So those are some of the places that I'll be hanging out.
Great. Thank you for your time. I appreciate the interview. I loved your rundown of your favorite biohacks and your rhythm and routine and your and how you put sleep in the nervous system first. So thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. My name is Dr. Noah DeCoyer, your co-host, and you are listening to the Beyond Your Wildest Dreams podcast. If you like what you've heard today, please share this with your friends and encourage them to subscribe on iTunes. You can subscribe to our incredible weekly email at www.beyondyourwildestdreams.com. And as my oldest son Hayden says, be awesome and never unawesome.